Yuka Royer is here in studio. Good to have you with us this evening,
Hi, Sharon.
Yuka. So French farmers are out protesting again, this time over a major trade deal between the EU and a South American bloc.
Well, Sharon, demonstrations that began last week have spread nationwide as the G20 summit began in Brazil, as there's concern that the controversial EU-Mercosur deal could be ratified on the sidelines of the event, something the host Brazil has been pushing for. Now, agreed in 2019, the trade deal would allow large amounts of agricultural exports from the bloc through increased quotas. Mercosur members, Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay and Bolivia, include major producers of meat, poultry, sugar and minerals. Europe can export larger quantities of machinery and other goods duty-free. Proponents of the deal argue it can bolster Europe's food security and supply of rare metals used in electric cars. But farmers say it would threaten their livelihoods. Governments are divided on this. Italy just joined France in saying it rejects the deal in its current form, while Spain and Germany are in favour.
It's unthinkable that while we impose particularly tough restrictions and requirements on our producers in Europe, whether agricultural or industrial, that we don't ask our trading partners to respect the same requirements.
Is the European Union interested in closing in on itself? Or is it interested, in the current geopolitical context, especially after the US election, in expanding the network of our trade agreements with third countries? I think the answer is very clear.
France 24's Andrew Hillier has more on the details of the trade deal that are at the heart of the controversy.
French farmers are virtually unanimous in opposing the Mercosur trade deal. Both the EU and Mercosur reached an initial agreement back in 2019, but it was never finalized after opposition from farmers and some European governments. The free trade deal aims to boost commerce between the European Union and the 5 countries that make up Mercosur, namely Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay and Bolivia. It would gradually eliminate customs duties on trade between the two blocs. The EU exported 45 billion euros worth of goods to Mercosur in 2021. French government officials say it would allow the import of an additional 99,000 tons of beef and 180,000 tons of poultry. But French farmers say South American exporters would have an unfair competitive edge. Farms are bigger and producers are less bound by strict environmental and health regulations than their EU counterparts. Wages are also lower than in Europe, and that could force prices down for European farmers.
In the end, it's like unfair competition. Our products are very standardized, very controlled, very closely monitored, and products from all around the world can arrive with completely different standards of production.
The French government, racing to extinguish a growing protest movement, also opposes the deal. It's urged other EU countries to refrain from signing it. Analysts say it could accelerate deforestation in the Amazon rainforest by up to 5% per year. The deal has united politicians, farmers and environmentalists in a rare common front opposed to its ratification.
Yuka, it's an icon of American low-cost air travel. Spirit Airlines has filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah, Spirit Airlines is the biggest budget airline in the United States, but it has been struggling with mounting losses since the COVID pandemic. It filed for bankruptcy protection after agreeing a deal with bondholders as it faces debt payments totaling more than $1 billion in 2025 and 2026. It will, however, keep operating normally during the bankruptcy process and says customers can continue to book tickets. The no-frills airline has faced a host of issues in recent years, including an engine recall that grounded dozens of its jets and a failed attempt to merge with JetBlue, its rival. Its shares have lost 97% of their value since 2018. And with that, let's have a look at the broader market action of the day. Wall Street ended the day mixed, with the Dow Jones dipping into negative territory and the S&P and the Nasdaq advancing comfortably. Elon Musk's Tesla rallied on reports that Donald Trump's team is preparing to ease rules on self-driving technology. And cryptocurrency platform Bakkt ended the day up 370% following a report that Trump media is considering buying the company. At one point, it jumped nearly 1,500% from 11 cents to €1.70.
Finally then, in business news, Toyota has unveiled a new type of car. What is
The
it?
Japanese car giant already makes hydrogen-powered cars, but the new model combines a hydrogen engine and an electric motor and has a 20% longer range on a single charge. Toyota has chosen not to go all out on electric cars, but to develop a range of green vehicles, including petrol EV hybrids, hydrogen fuel cell and hydrogen internal combustion engines. It plans to begin public road tests of this new hybrid model next spring in Australia. And that's it for business.
Yuka, thank you so much for all of that. Yuka Royer there with all the day's business news.